Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good day to all of you who are listening to this video. My name is Dato Abul Hasan bin Muhammad Rashid from Kampung Sungai Penchala, and I'm requested to make this video in English after what I've done in Bahasa, which you can download or watch at YouTube. Mageran from Malaysia, Dato Abul Hasan. We have to understand why is this Mageran, or some people call it interim emergency rules and the like. It doesn't matter what you call it, as long the objective, the purpose are the same. To go back a little bit on the history of this interim emergency rules, it was first done in 1970 when there was a racial riot. So all parties came together under different circumstances to find a way to resolve the conflict and the issue at that particular time. However, those rules were still in existence today, but after 50 years, situation have changed, country have changed, the people have changed. So we need to review all these laws and to revisit them and then improve on them, or clean up all the law which is not very clear or causing some ambiguity in the aspect of implementation. So that's why we need to do Mageran. Mageran is something that you have to get approval. Normally the sitting Prime Minister or the Yang Dipertuan Agong and the rulers can also decide to enact a Mageran. And once the ruler approve Mageran, they have to appoint a leader to lead the Mageran committee. And this leader is very important because he's the one who will be the one piloting the whole issue on revisiting all the laws and improve the new democratic system, the new economic system, and the new era of new world. I am suggesting Tun Dr. Mahathir be appointed as a leader because he has got a lot of experience. He is matured, he is very intelligent, and he has got the respect of many people. We must look at this appointment with objectivity, that this man who is 90 years plus does not want to take this position for the sake of wealth or power. He is now on his last stage of his life. Maybe he wants to do something better and something for Malaysian people so that he can go away, we all can remember him. Now, once the interim leader has been appointed, example, Tun Dr. Mahathir, he will then appoint 7 or 10 people under him. It can be present political leaders or some people of influence at present moment. But they are appointed there to assist him, not to discuss politics, but to review and change the system of our democracy and the laws that are not working well for the country. Now these 10 people, again, we can select another 10 people of professional people who are like professors, lawyers, doctors, and those with experience, religious leader, to become the second group of appointment of 10% to assist the leader of the team and the first 10-person committee. Lastly, I also would recommend we appoint all young people from all parties, all races, to be in this committee, provided they are clean, they have no bad record or court cases or corruption or things like that to become the third tier in the committee, besides all the top government servants. So we will have about 30 or 40 people into this committee to run the new emergency rules. What does this committee do? The committee must look at all aspects of the law, which is very tedious and many and cumbersome. But we can look at some of the basic laws that are causing problems to the Malaysian. For example, our religion of Islam. Islamic law in this country is unfortunately not very clearly spelled out, as some are under jurisdiction of the Sultan, some are under federal government, state government, and so on. And the laws are such that sometimes people can take Islamic matters into the civil court and things like that. It happens. So what we have to do, we have to look at all this and form a committee headed by one of the 10 top people with incorporation of all the experts in the second tier and the third tier young people inside this committee. And this chairman who is being appointed can also rope in other people who are professional to look at this matter. So they go and do this work and study and report back to the chairman, which is Dr. Mahathir Mohamad. Similarly, the other problem faced by the country are the Malay rights, Malaysian rights, and the monarchy. These are 4 items that all the time causing problem to the country. We have been balked by this kind of argument, sentiment, racial feeling that make the country so divided and become so toxic at present moment. Idea of racial, religious intolerances are created by a very small group of people and very few top leaders, old leaders who wants to cling to power using religion, using race to further their cause so that they stay in power and then they can do the corrupting. But I'm very happy to say from the survey, all young Malaysians, whether Malay, Chinese, Indian, or any other races, they all do not seem to care about the racial feeling or racial unhappiness created by these so-called leaders. What these young people want is fair. To be fair, they want a fair treatment, they want equal treatment, they want to be given equal opportunities, and they want to be just like all Malaysian young people. They want to strive and work for the country. They want the country to progress, so they are part of it and they are also in the system. They do not want to talk about religion or race or the rights and so on and so forth. So when we look at this matter, we can look at it in a proper perspective, get a committee again from the top 10, the first 10 top group, to appoint us from second tier, third tier, and then rope in all the professionals, look at the law, how to enhance this racial harmony and so on and so forth, and to come up with a solution so that we don't have this problem anymore. Finally, we have the monarchy, which we must look at and protect it, and they also must play their role, and they must also be responsible so that monarchy can last a long time, people are happy, they are also happy. Now, with all these 3-4 items, if the committee can look into come up with some kind of paper and become law eventually, then our country will become better, no longer toxic, and our democracy also better. And anybody who speak or bring up a subject of any 4 of the above, religion, race, Malay right, and monarchy, send them to jail for 2 years without trial. This will definitely make them think twice so that the country become clean and proper, so we don't have to worry about racial tension. So what the country can do, what the politician can do, they could have to concentrate on the economy, on the people, on the development of environment, youth, and all other things they want to concentrate. Except they cannot touch the four above item, which is sensitive, and we take it out of our system. That is democracy. So this democracy we have now, with liberal mind, can do this, can do that. Everybody has the right to talk, to question this, question that. That causes a lot of problem for a lot of people. So with this, the committee can set up the first guideline to look at all the laws and revisit them and improve so that the country become better. Now, secondly, I want to touch on another subject, which the young people want. They want open tender, open fair play. They have also the rights, and they don't want corruption. They hate corruption, and they are not happy with this kind of system. So what we can do, currently we don't have check and balance. And we have already seen and the problem created by the two previous prime minister or three. They have the right over all the ministry, they have the right to control, they have the right to direct, and they make these ministries work for them, not for the country and not for the people. So what we want to do, maybe this committee can look at and separate the powers of the Prime Minister, the ruling party, and the 6-7 government department. AG, PDRM, SPRM, Chairman of Public Election Commission, military, judiciary, all should be separated from the power of the Prime Minister. So that they are independent. So when they are independent, the Prime Minister cannot direct them to arrest somebody or not to arrest somebody or to do all sorts of things that is not properly acceptable to the young people. So what we want to do is that all these government departments will act accordingly within the law in their department and take action where it is necessary without fear or favor. But this department is not independently by themselves. They report to a committee. The committee will be appointed, comprises of ex-judges, ex-police officers, legal people, religious people, and some professionals to oversee. For example, the SPRM. If there's a police report or there's a report made against somebody, and it's their job to go and find and do. They hold no fear or favor. They must take action. If they fail to take action, the committee in charge of SPRM will take disciplinary action against them. Similarly with the police and the other department. So in this way, we can avoid the country being looted, or we can avoid the corruption become more prevalent, and they can do away with murders by ordering all departments to come under them. That is the issue of separation of power and the balance of power between the government and ministries. Next thing also we want to do, maybe we want to look at how to make sure that all the GLC, all the government departments and their assets are protected, which will come under the preview of this committee. And I'm sure Dr. Mate is expert at this. He will know and how to draft all the laws to make sure that they are run professionally, not by politicians. Once our country assets are safe, GLC are safe by professionals, then this country can go forward. Then of course, finally, Dr. Mahathir Mohamad himself is an experienced man. He also can head a committee to look into this country economic situation, what to do, and what are plans to do. Like last time we have Wawasan 2020, now we can maybe have Wawasan 2030 or something like that. So in these 2 years, we can work out a system that make up all the laws so that the system works And we have also a group of young people who are in the system who can learn. After the committee are ready, of course, this committee can be disbanded, democracy comes back to full, where election can be held, and the party that govern the country will be better because they cannot do what present government, the past government do. In fact, if you watch the parliament last 2 days, it's a sham. All people, the riot are talking like a circus. Some people want to open the parliament, don't want to open parliament. Some people want to speak, some people don't want to speak. And you know, these are kind of things, they forget about riot. The riot are suffering. And they are talking about all their own needs and their greed for power. So we must avoid this. So next parliament, when Mageran is over, will be a better place. They can argue about all the things they want, only for the country and for the people. And we can limit their power so that the country comes first, the people come first, not the politician. I hope this endeavor will come through, and Agong and the rulers, this is their last chance to solve all the Malaysian people problem, and they should come together and appoint Tun Dr. Mahathir to head this thing so this country can go ahead, become better for the future of our young people. And I'm very sure you will support me, and I hope you will continue to support me in this direction. Because Parliament cannot change our law, Parliament cannot change the system, Parliament cannot remedy all the problems we have now because you require 2/3 majority. The only way to do all these things, even though it may sound drastic, but this committee have the right to do and chart the program and the law for our country, for our future, bearing in mind the young people of all races. So as long as you are fair with all races, the young people are happy. They do not want corruption. They do not want unfair government. They want to be treated fairly. Please help them, not us. We are all old people. The young people are at stake. It's their future. We must not jeopardize them. Without changing this law through Mageran or through interim government, next 20, 30 years, we will be facing worse and worse problem. But if we change now, next 20 years, we have a better country, better future, and better relationship with all races together. Thank you.